we know Boone will be back. What about Brian Cashman?
Well, I'm not going to discuss that, but I have a lot of respect for Cashman, and I believe he's a very good GM for all the reasons I've stated in the past. He's very good at dealing with coaches, managers, players.
Treat me fairly, don't make it public.
Right.
Only thing I ask.
And they made it public.
And then they made it public, yeah.
Was that the kids or was that the boss?
No, that was front office.
He's very good with his staff. They respect him. And, we get accused of being a stagnant organization sometime. We're not. We're constantly evolving. And Cash is great at that. All of our investments in performance science the last year or two are kind of a testament to that. That's kind of a new thing that's coming into the mix. And he's also very well balanced, as I am very well balanced. We believe in a lot of analytics. We also believe in a lot of pro scouting, and we utilize both those informations in making decisions. So I think he's one of the better GMs in the game. I'm not saying there's going to be a change there, but we do not have an agreement at this point.
So Hal Steinbrenner, again, in this interview with the Yes Network, basically talks about Cashman, Brian Cashman, our beloved Yankees GM, and talks about how basically he's not going to go anywhere. I mean, they don't have an agreement right now, but that's not to say that there's going to be any changes made. And not only that, but he loves the balance that him and Brian share together when it comes to how analytics works and all that good stuff in making the Yankees what they are today. Hal says how he loves so much of how Cashman deals with staff, management, players, and all of that good stuff, and especially with the coaches. He also says that the Yankees are constantly evolving and getting better, especially since the last time we hired anyone in upper management when it comes to around Brian Cashman that's newly hired was in 2007. So definitely we're evolving and hiring new people and, moving towards the right direction, right? With the mixture of analytics and pro scouting, it seems like Hal Steinbrenner is set on Brian Cashman having a forever job here. And it doesn't look like he's going to necessarily kick him off as the general manager. But I just thought it was so interesting how Hal just basically said how he likes how Brian Cashman deals with players. Yes, that's true. I'm sure with certain players, Cashman has been really close with, such as Clint Frazier. I remember hearing that they were like best friends sharing dinner together and all that stuff. And I'm sure that kind of clouded up Brian Cashman's head when it came to trading him away and all this good stuff later on. But he didn't. And, you know the story of Clint Frazier and where he's not with the Yankees today. Or you could talk about how Cashman deals with players during their free agency and how he basically just airs out all of their business instead of just letting the media do its job and doing the airing out for him. But instead, Cashman prefers to air out the business numbers, the negotiation, basically everything out to the media. And his excuse is just like, it's going to get out there anyway, so why not just have it be from us? But there's certain players like Derek Jeter that have said that all they ask out of this whole negotiation is just keep it out of the media. Don't say the numbers to anyone. I don't want to be with any other team. I just want to be with this team. Like, let's make it happen. But Cashman had to go out there and do a little dirty trick and go out there and spill the beans. And again, his excuse is, hey, it's going to get out there somehow. Why shouldn't it be from us?
When I was a free agent, I was only a free agent once in my career.
Right.
And right when World Series is over, you could be a free agent. I went and met with our owner and GM, team president, my agent, and I said, look, verbatim, I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
Not going anywhere. I said, I told my agent, I probably shouldn't do this in negotiations, but I told my agent if any other team calls, tell them I'm not interested. Just treat me fairly. Treat me fairly. Don't make it public.
Right.
Only thing I ask.
And they made it public.
And then they made it public.
And he did it again with Aaron Judge in the beginning of the season, where right before the season actually even started, Cashman said, hey, this is what the details were with the negotiations with Aaron Judge. And again, Aaron Judge had the same reaction as Derek Jeter, as he didn't like that. He didn't like him airing out those numbers. And so it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And I feel like it took Derek Jeter a very long time and Brian Cashman to get together and, be on good terms in a way. Because even if you watch Derek Jeter's The Captain, the documentary multi-series, which was awesome, and you got to see Derek Jeter, eventually they got to a good middle ground. He basically got in a good middle ground with A-Rod and Cashman and all this. So it took such a long time for them to get to that point, but it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And so when Hal says, oh, great relationships with players, it's just with the small time players like Clint Frazier, I'm sure he's happy how everything ended. Does it even matter with the big time players, with the players where it actually matters, like a Derek Jeter, like an Aaron Judge? Well, I feel like that's one of the things that Hal just said that just didn't make too much sense to me. I said, when it really matters, I feel like Cashman doesn't come through in actually making it count, like he cares about the players in that sense, especially when it comes to negotiations. Not only that, but the organization has not changed in 15 plus years, going on 16 years. The last newly hired person in the front office, like where it really matters, was in 2007. And if you look at our rivals, different teams, they have made new hires in those areas as early as the past 2 years, or even they're about to go search for a new front office like GM or whatever the case is. If you look at the Astros, that's what they're doing right now. They're going to look for a new GM. Different teams are always improving and changing and having a different point of view in their front office. And I feel like that's just natural. But for the Yankees, they have kept a lot of people in the same positions for a very long time. Not to mention Brian Cashman has been around for 20 plus years doing this job. And sometimes if you get the same result, you need to do something different. And not to say that the Yankees' results are horrible by any means. They've gone into the playoffs, and a lot of teams are able to get to the playoffs. But for the amount of money that the Yankees spend, it'd be kind of ridiculous if they didn't make the playoffs at least. You know, we're not the Rays, you know, where, oh man, if we don't make it every year, it's totally fine, you know. No, for that amount of money that the Yankees spend on payroll, they need to be at least making the playoffs. Bare minimum. But when it comes to winning a World Series, like, different things have to occur in order for that to happen. And the Yankees, I feel like, aren't making those necessary changes. And Hal is just simply saying, oh no, we're evolving, we're doing pro scouting, we're doing analytics, and we're ahead of the curve, and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, the way Cashman handles players is not the best, at least with the ones that really matter. And then when we look at the organization as a whole, what new hires do we really have in the areas where it really matters? Cashman isn't making the necessary moves in order to make that happen. Other teams are changing managers, are getting new assistant GMs, new whatever the case may be, pro scouting, but are the Yankees making the necessary changes? And it'll be interesting to see what else Hal has to say when it comes to this. But for now, Cashman is our GM, and maybe Hal will make some changes or add some people to make it look like changes are being made. But at the end of the day, can you really believe that the Yankees are going to make the necessary changes that they need when they already have a whole family of people that doesn't seem like they're going to get fired anytime soon, and they have a lifetime job? I think changes need to be made, and it all starts with Hal.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.